Welcome to another episode of Throwing It Back with Sean Farrell. I am Sean Farrell. God is great all the time. All the time, God is great. Jesus Christ is Lord. Happy Memorial Day weekend to everyone out there. And let's not waste no more time. Let's get right to it. So, I was listening to a conversation while I was going home from work a few days ago. And I saw a video about where they were discussing Scottie Pippen's bitterness towards Michael Jordan. Okay. And I believe it was Dreamers Pro Show who made the video. Yes. And so they played some audio of Scottie Pippen appearing on the Dan Patrick Show, and him talking about Phil Jackson not giving him the last second shot. Okay, so I'm gonna get into that in a second, but I want to just go back for a second. I did some digging. I did a little bit of digging. Okay, and what I found was Toni Kukoc had 3 game-winning shots his first year as a Chicago Bull. His very first game-winning shot came in the first week of the 93-94 season when he had a game-winning three-pointer versus the Bucks. Okay? So that was the first one. And then there was a Christmas Day game versus the Orlando Magic, the NBA on NBC. Toni Kukoc hit a runner to win the game for the Bulls. It appeared that Nick Anderson won the game for the Orlando Magic, but he didn't get the shot off in time. So the Bulls won. And Toni Kukoc's game winner was the difference. And there was the one he had against Indiana, where Reggie Miller tells a story of where Reggie Miller came off the screen and hit a shot, okay? And Reggie Miller was telling this story on NBA Open Court. He hits a shot over Steve Kerr, and he goes to the Bulls center court logo and bows, okay? And if you remember, Sam Mitchell came running up to Reggie Miller like, bow, bow, Reggie Miller, bow, yeah, you the man. Well, there was still 0.8 seconds left, okay? And guess who was taking the ball out? You guessed it, Scottie Pippen, okay? So, Reggie Miller was telling a story. He said they lobbed the ball into Kukoc, and he hits the game-winning 3. And Reggie Miller said, and who shall be the first one to come up and bow in my face? It is little Steve Kerr. And Reggie Miller said, you talk about wanting to strangle somebody. I wanted to strangle Steve Kerr. So it made Reggie Miller's potential game-winning shot, quote, all the more funnier, considering that it wasn't a game-winning shot. But yeah, so I just want to add that. So Phil Jackson, you hear the saying, coaches know their players better than anybody else does because they see them in practice every day. They see them in games every day. Okay? So, Phil Jackson knew Toni Kukoc could hit game-winning shots. Okay? So let's bring it back to Scottie Pippen. Okay? Who called Phil Jackson a racist because he didn't give Scottie the game-winning shot versus Knicks, okay? And so, and by the way, just to add a little bit more context, with Scottie Pippen, when Toni Kukoc hit the game-winning 3 versus the Bucks, Scottie Pippen was out with a injury. Okay, so, so there was a game in Phoenix, the last game before the 1994 NBA All-Star break. Okay, there was a game in Phoenix, the finals rematch, Bulls versus Suns. They were playing in Phoenix. Charles Barkley didn't play. He was out with an injury. And it was the final game before the 94 All-Star break, okay? And I believe the Bulls had a shot to win it with the last shot. And Phil Jackson gave Scottie the final shot. I saw the footage, okay? And I tried to dig up the footage, but I couldn't find it. I couldn't find the footage. But I've seen the footage before. Tried to dig it up, but I couldn't find it. So Phil Jackson gave Scottie Pippen a chance. Scottie Pippen took a bad shot. Not only did he take a bad shot, he missed it badly. And the Suns ended up winning the game 89-88. Okay. And so I just said a few minutes ago, nobody knows the players more well than the head coach. And I think that was enough to convince Phil Jackson to say, maybe Scottie's not the guy that you want to give the ball to in the last second. Maybe Kukoc is more prepared for the moment. Let me just say this. Kukoc had not 1, not 2, but 3 game-winning shots during the season. How many did Pippen hit during the season? 0. Okay. So yeah. Which makes it all the more baffling. If you can say that Scottie would call Phil Jackson a racist, maybe Phil Jackson is smart. Maybe Phil Jackson knows his team better than everybody else does, okay? Maybe Phil Jackson has seen what you can do in clutch situations, and he's seen what Toni does in clutch situations. I'm just saying. Which brings me to my next point, okay? So, there was a fuss about Scottie's contract, okay? And it was All-Star Weekend 1995, okay? And Scottie Pippen just happened to be doing an interview with Craig Sager, the late Craig Sager. Rest in peace, man. He happened to be doing an interview with Craig Sager. And take a look at this clip and see what Scottie Pippen had to say to Craig Sager. Take a look at it.
Probably heard Jerry Colangelo of the Suns add a little fuel to those rumors earlier by saying, yes, he would like to have Scottie Pippen. It'd be pretty easy to just stay in this town, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be. I've been on the road for 2 weeks, so I got plenty of clothes with me.
What about the trade talks? I know you're close to the situation. You said you want out. Do you think you'll be traded by February 23rd, the deadline?
Well, I hope I am. I think the way things are looking now, with the trading deadline closing in, there's a lot of talk going on from different teams. So, I'm hearing a lot of rumor and different speculation. So, I'm just hoping that the right opportunity arises for the Bulls and for me.
Everybody agrees you're underpaid. If your contract was changed, could you be happy in Chicago?
I would have to say no at this point. I think it's at the point now is where I want to go and play somewhere else. I think the franchise and the team has changed since I've been there, and I think it's a time for a change for me.
How you've been able to put these distractions and disappointments aside and have an MVP year?
Well, it's just a lot of love for the game. I like the game, and then when I go out, I try to play my best, and that's just pretty much the bottom line of the story. Basketball has been an escape for me to really get away from all the problems and the frustration and everything that's kind of been built around this season so far.
The better you play, the more Chicago wants. Do you think Jerry Krause is asking for too much for Scottie Pippen?
Well, I know Jerry, so he's definitely asking for a lot. So maybe I'm about to tone my game down for the next few games.
Your differences with him are to the point where you can still talk to him, or are you just not communicating at all?
Well, we're not communicating at all. You know, it really shouldn't be a relationship between the general manager and the player. My relationship is pretty much with Phil. I feel like that he's the one that I'm working for. He's the one that's coaching me. So, you know, I can deal with Phil.
Well, you represent the Bulls in the All-Star game tomorrow. Who knows in the playoffs? Good luck.
Thanks.
Okay, Bob.
Okay, so you heard that Scottie Pippen was interested in joining the Suns. And he says that Jerry Colangelo was interested in pursuing him. Okay? So, let's check out the possible scenarios that would have been set off. The possible cause and effects that this trade would have. Okay? If Scottie Pippen was traded to the Suns probably would have won their first NBA championship. They probably would have knocked off Houston. They probably would have knocked off San Antonio too. They may have potentially gone back to the NBA Finals. Okay. And win the NBA Finals, because that Phoenix team was loaded. You had Dan Marley, you had Sir Charles, you had Danny Ainge, KJ, AC Green, you had Danny Shays, who was there, Elliot Perry, you also had the young buck, Wesley Person, who was a rookie. He played well during his rookie year, the 3-point specialist. So you add Pippen to that team right there, with all those veterans and a mix of rookies. You add them. You add Scottie Pippen to that roster. Potential title. But we'll never know, because the trade never happened. But if it did happen, no, that's a possible scenario right there, championship. Okay? So, now, let's look at it from the Bulls' perspective. Okay? If the Bulls make that trade, okay, then I would say they probably get back. If the Bulls make the trade with the Suns, they probably get back AC Green and Elliot Perry in that deal. So, let's just say this. The Bulls trade Scottie Pippen to the Suns for AC Green and Elliot Perry. Does Jordan come back? Hell no. Hell no. And if that trade happened, then we probably would be remembering the Bulls as 3-time NBA champions, not 6-time NBA champions. But the basketball gods, they kept saying, hey, the basketball gods kept saying no. They were like, no, Scottie. I know you want to be traded, but no, you're not going to be traded, man. I know you want to be traded, but you're not going to be traded. You will not regret that you will be traded. You might be unhappy, but you won't regret that you won't be traded. And I'm probably guessing that he probably didn't, because the Bulls won 3 more titles after Jordan returned. Okay. So, yeah. So, that would have been pretty interesting right there. I would have loved to see that had happened. But, like I said, we'll never know, because it didn't happen. All right. That's it. And that's all for Throwing It Back with Sean Farrell. Peace out. Happy Memorial Day to everyone out there. And I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.